Hello everyone, my name is Miikka Niiranen and I'm the chief editor of Areiopagi web magazine in Finland. And my goal today is to tell you about what is Areiopagi and why does it exist in the first place. And I will begin by sharing this graph a little bit about the background of Finland and maybe about some religious trends that are happening at the moment. This is the share of the membership of the established church in Finland, which is the Lutheran Church in Finland. You see in these curves the membership percentage with respect to age of people. And these various curves are from earlier stages in recent history, but you can notice the big difference in the latest set of data from year 2011. And this is happening right now. People are leaving the membership of the church. I know that is not a trustworthy sign of belief or unbelief, but I think, however, that it tells something about the overall Western situation. And what is interesting is that this is happening in Finland at the moment within the internet generation, the millennials, so people of my age and younger. And the major portal through which it is happening is called leavethechurch.com, of course in Finnish, and which is a portal supported by the Free Thinkers Society in Finland, so the strict atheists in Finland. And they have been quite successful. They have reduced the membership about 10 or 15% in 10 years, and will continue to succeed. The previous graphs broken down in two curves. The upper curve is about women and the lower curve is about men. So you can see that especially young men are living in church, and I infer from that they are more negative towards Christianity as well. Well, there's other data support that, but that is the general situation at the moment. And one final statistics before actually entering into Areiopagi is that 2 years ago there was a science barometer conducted in Finland that told us that 47% of Finns believe that there is such a thing as a worldview based on science, and that religion are in conflict. So that is, and it is more prevalent among the younger generation than within the older generation. So that is somehow the spiritual background, or some aspects of it in Finland. Y-axis is the percentage of Finnish people that belong to the established church, are members of the church. There. Okay, our goals as a web magazine is first to raise the level of discussion about science and religion. Many people hold some typical mythical views about this, such as, for instance, that the church taught throughout history that the earth is flat, which is obviously not true. Second, we want to build a positive relationship between science and Christian theology. And third, challenge some anti-theistic arguments that have been presented especially by the new atheists and their counterparts in Finland that have, I think the phenomenon of new atheism has come to Finland a few years later than, for instance, in the UK. So we are trying to counter that also in Areiopagi. Then how do we do it in practice? We produce one weekly article at the website which is a scholarly article, but still on a popular level, ranging from different subjects from philosophy and history of science mainly. We'll come back to that later. Second, publishing books. These books publishing is possible mainly due to the Templeton Foundation grant that we received last year. And it is a project that we are doing in 3 years, and it includes publishing books and having academic seminars and producing high-quality videos about various subjects. The first book was, maybe you've heard of it, Galileo Goes to Jail and Other Myths About Science and Religion. It's a discussion book that includes various viewpoints, worldviews. Some evangelical Christians, some agnostics, atheists, a few Jews and a Muslim. The pinpoint is to create the platform for the discussion of various views, because that is basically non-existent in Finland at the moment. The second book we're going to publish is from Alistair McGrath, Science and Religion, A New Introduction, that introduces some basic questions, if you've not heard of it, from history and some current discussion. Then videos. For instance, we had Professor John Hedley Brooke visiting Finland in March in one of our seminars, and we made an interview on him and published it on YouTube. And also, you can see some others, other videos that we made, in total in 35 short YouTube videos. And so we spread it through our website and social media at the moment. We have two spearheads in our range of subject, philosophy and history of science. This is, the first one is, I'll tell you about it, it's philosophy, especially analytic philosophy, because people are largely unaware in Finland the rise of philosophical theism within the top academic philosophical research during the past 50 years. Names like Alvin Plantinga or William Lane Craig are basically unknown, or were before Craig actually visited Finland a couple of years ago. And the general idea is that the philosophical arguments for existence of God are basically dead. The second spearhead, so to speak, is to the history of science. That is also one subject, especially in Finland, that people are really unaware of. I mentioned the myth about the flat earth, and also in the academia, history of science is practically not studied. There's one university, and within that university, one faculty that does it at all. But people in Finland, they don't have to study any history of science within their studies at all. Not the scientists, not the philosophers. So it is really rampant of some atheist myths, this field. And as we know, history of science is also one area of scholarship that has seen a rise of Christian historians that have quite powerfully shown that Christian faith has been instrumental, for instance, in the creation of modern science. Yeah, but this all creates an element of surprise that people are unaware of Christian contribution to science and philosophy, but then, especially in today's world with social media and the popularity of myth-busting articles and videos, I think we have been quite effective in this. Here are some examples of some recent articles. On the right, there's an article about cosmic fine-tuning by physicist Vesa Palonen. Maybe some of you know him. This one is the latest. It's about the German Lutheran mathematician Georg Cantor and the infinity. Then one about Inquisition, and a review about Professor Matti Leisola's book on evolution and creation and intelligent design. These are the regular writers. I will name just a few. Maybe you have heard of Aku Viisala is, might be known in the US and UK, and Olli-Pekka Vainio as well, philosophers and theologians. How are we performing? Some stats. Scientists love numbers. So far, for instance, in Facebook we have 1,300 Facebook likers. Page views are approximately 266,000 and so on. But if you scale this to Germany's population, you might get a better idea, because Finland is a very small country, about 5 million people. And I don't know if you have something similar or in other countries, but those are about the numbers that would correspond if it would be in Germany. So the rest of the Europe would have maybe somewhere in between. And this one is quite interesting, I think. One of the last slides. Facebook gives you the age distribution of the fans of your page. And the largest chunk is men aged 25 to 34. And if you look this, it is exactly the age that is leaving the church, and most probably is the most atheistic generation in the history of Finland. So at least I think the Christian peers of those people have been activated, and they are sharing the things on social media. The last slide, a review of the Galileo book in the magazine called Green Thread. Does anyone know what it is? It's the official magazine of the Green Party in Finland. So not exactly the most friendly party to Christianity. And this reviewer was an atheist, is an atheist still, so far. And he said that it was a good read, even for a strict atheist like me. And he gained some new knowledge, for instance, that the church hasn't been always hostile to science. And it made me think, which is always a good thing, was basically what he said. So some impact also in the mainstream media. Of course, this is a challenge still to gain more visibility, but we're trying to get there.